Today, we're going to dive into a really critical choice that we all face in our careers, a lot of times without even realizing we're making it. It all boils down to two totally different ways of working. Are you just consuming your time, or are you actually building a future?
So let's just start with that big question, right out of the gate. I want you to really take a second and think about this. In your day-to-day work, are you consuming time, or are you accumulating a future? Because trust me, the answer to that question changes absolutely everything. To really unpack that, let's start by breaking down the two models of work that really define most careers today. Once you understand these, you can start to figure out which path you're really on.
Okay, this slide just lays it all out so perfectly. On one hand, you've got the old model, right? You trade your hours for dollars. Simple. But that means your income always has a ceiling. And as you get older, your options can actually start to shrink. And the worst part? All that value you create, well, it belongs to the company. But the new model? It flips that whole script. You're exchanging value for a return. Your results stack up, they accumulate. Age becomes an advantage, not a disadvantage, and the most important part, the value you build, is yours to keep.
Now, this isn't just some business school theory. Let's make this real. We're going to look at a personal story that really shows the struggle of being caught in that old way of thinking.
The person in this story did everything they were supposed to do. You know the drill. They followed the traditional path, they worked hard, they were responsible, and they believed that would be enough to guarantee a secure future. Sound familiar to anyone?
But then a problem started to creep in. Despite being busy every single day, back-to-back meetings, deadlines, the whole shebang, there was this nagging feeling of just running on a treadmill. Your income was completely tied to your time. If you stopped, everything stopped. And that feeling led to this huge, crucial question. It's that moment of doubt I think a lot of us have, when you look a decade down the road and you realize, wait a minute, this path isn't actually taking me where I want to go. That is a powerful, powerful wake-up call.
But the thing that really shook things up wasn't just a thought, it was health. And think about it, so many of us do this. We sacrifice our own well-being for our careers, pushing our bodies to the limit in that time for money exchange.
And this right here is such a profound insight. You can always make more money, right? It might take time, but it's possible. But your health, that's a whole different story. Once it's gone, it is incredibly difficult to get back. A career shouldn't just be about making a living, it has to be sustainable for your long-term well-being.
So what's the alternative then? All of this questioning led to a completely new system, a system where the value you pour your heart and soul into creating actually belongs to you.
And here it is, a personal business system. Now don't let the name intimidate you. A simple way to think about it is like a micro-franchise. It's a proven, repeatable system that you can plug into. And it's designed for the long haul. It's all about people and creating real value, not just chasing the next transaction. So what does that even look like on a day-to-day basis? Well, it's not about your job title or your resume. It's about simple, human things. It's sharing what you've learned about health. It's walking alongside people while they make positive changes. It's helping others build a better lifestyle for themselves. It's a career that's fundamentally built on service and trust.
And this right here is the absolute game changer. Your effort accumulates. The value you create today is still there tomorrow. The work you do builds on itself. It doesn't just reset to zero every single morning when you clock in, which is, the fundamental trap of that time for money model.
So, right about now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but is this really a fit for me? That's a great question. Let's look at a few specific kinds of people who this path really seems to click with.
If you're an office worker, listen, this is not about telling you to just quit your job tomorrow. Not at all. It's about giving you a way to build a real asset, your own future, alongside your steady job, so that your life isn't totally dependent on that next paycheck.
What about for caregivers? For all you men and women out there looking after your families? This model gives you a path that doesn't force you to choose. It's a career that lets you balance your family, protect your own health, and still find time for your own personal growth, without having to sacrifice one for the other.
And for anyone over 40, those of us thinking about the second half of life, this is a model where you don't age out. In fact, it's the total opposite. Your life experience, your wisdom, your connections, all of that becomes your greatest asset. The more experience you have, the more valuable you become.
So, what do you do with all of this? Well, this isn't a sales pitch. It's really just an invitation to take a minute and do some honest thinking for yourself. The goal here is not to pressure you into some big decision right now. It's just to open a door to a new way of looking at things, to give you the space and maybe a new framework to think about what you really want out of your work and out of your life.
And so I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. I want you to project yourself forward, 5 years from now, then 10 years from now. Are you happy with where your current path is headed? Do you still want to be living the exact same lifestyle? Only you can answer that. But just knowing there's another option, well, that's the first step toward building a future that you truly, truly own.